Hello guys and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the V3i at a new site or at one of your regular sites that perhaps the conditions have changed due to rain or EMI. So the first thing I generally do is I hold the metal detector parallel to the ground about waist height or chest height, pull the trigger, get into search mode, pull the trigger into pinpoint and do a circle. So there's EMI behind me. And what does that mean? Well, it's not pulsing, so it's not really that bad of a electromagnetic interference. But it still tells me something. Perhaps I may not want to run the high band filters because high filters because they're more sensitive to EMI. And also I might want to drop sensitivity, but it's not pulsing. If it was pulsing, I'd recommend you do frequency offset. And try to find what gets the detector the quietest. Or you can go into a single frequency, generally one of the ones that weren't as high. So again, if I pull the trigger, I'd go into 22.5 or 7.5 because it's highest on the 2.5 frequency. Next is I will ground balance. I'll find a generally fairly clean place to ground balance. So if I already checked, so this is the cleanest area I could find. If I pull the trigger, you see I get a deep reading there, so pretty good. So let me hold the detector up, pull the trigger, press enter. Notice the arrows? Okay, it's pretty much balanced from my last hunt here. Yeah, going back and forth, back and forth. Now, I'm going to do a ground probe to see what type and the strength of the mineralization. So under the live menu, I'll go to ground tracking, hold the detector up in the air, press zoom. Now what we are concerned with is the phase and the strength. So first I'm going to zero it. It's on 0. Press enter. You'll notice the number 0. I'll bring it back down to that same piece of relatively clean earth. And the VDI, or the type of mineralization in the ground, is a negative 93. That's pretty high iron mineralization. But if I move it around, you might see that number change at 92, 91. So I would say it's between 91 and 93. The strength is the overall mineralization, and that's really low, 1.4% or so in the lowest frequency. That's nothing. My gain, as you can see, is at 10 right now, which, you know, I could up it, but there's a lot of iron here generally, so I probably wouldn't want to do that. To me, mineralization is number one. I can adjust my swing speed, I can adjust recovery delay, I could lower my sensitivity for EMI or change frequencies, frequency offset, but mineralization primarily tells me which filter I'm going to use. Okay, so I've ground balanced. I'll go back into search menu on sensitivity just to take a look at my settings. RX gain of 10, discrimination of 85. I have a buried quarter right off to the left at only about 5 inches because I couldn't detect it really deep, probably due to the iron and mineralization in the ground. So, clean signal at 5 inches, really clean signal at 5 inches. Let's just see what happens if I change the ground filter. 5 high, still strong, still strong. Okay. Yeah, I'm picking it up because it's shallow enough. But let's try dropping the sensitivity down. So I'm just going to start way down. Let's say go down to 4 on the RX and 50 on the discrimination. Nothing with my recovery delay of 42. But let's try a ground balance and see if that helps anything. So hold it up, pull pinpoint, press enter. So I like to say this is pulling settings together, as Fox told me. Now, okay, it didn't pull it together enough. Let's try upping that. Let's say 6 and 60. Okay, we got a signal. I want to barely pick it up though. So let me lower this back down to 4. Still picking it up. Barely. let's do a ground balance. Okay. Okay, let's say it's not picking it up great, which is what I want. Now let's go to the ground filters. 5 high. Nothing on the spectrograph. 5 high with a reground balance. I don't know if this really matters, but just to try it. It got worse. No, okay, it's picking it up a little bit. Now let's try the 7.5 band without a ground balance. Nothing. With the ground balance, signal visually, but no sound. High. Nothing. 10. Nothing. Okay, I'll just try ground balancing again. It's pretty much on. You can see the arrows going back and forth. Okay, go back. Oh, excuse me. Let's drop the ground filter back down to 5. Okay, it's picking it up slightly, but it's picking it up. So that's the filter I'm going to run with. And now I'm going to up my sensitivity. Let's say 10, and I'll run at 85 because there's a lot of iron in the ground. Rob was telling me I might want to drop that to stop the small bits of signals. Yeah. So now it's coming in good and clear. So that's how I'd run my machine today. Now I'd be able to play a little bit with recovery delay to change the signal response. 50. Fuller signal. Notice the iron sound. It's a 5-tone tick there. Now if I drop down to 30, I've run as low as 20 because of the iron. Yeah, it's no effect. I don't see a big effect on depth when it comes to that. One other thing I'd like to show you is under sensitivity. If I zoom it, it shows you the signal loss and noise. So I'm only losing 15% of the signal of the ground with my settings where they are, which is good. They say you want to keep it, I believe, below 20% or something like that. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to you. Till next time. Addendum. I should add, when you're checking the ground mineralization with the ground tracking probe under V3i, negative 91, 92, 93, 94, that's iron mineralization level. So at that point, that would help me to understand the type of mineralization, not the level of mineralization. So the other number at the bottom, I forget if it was phase or strength, but the bottom number, that will tell you the level of mineralization. And at such a low level that I had 1.4%, I pretty much was sure I was going to use the lowest filters. It goes along with what should have happened. Anyway, so the ground tracking probe is a really valuable tool to help you first choose approximately which filter might work the best. But it's not the telltale all sign. You can have moderate ground mineralization and still run the 5 filter. It's filtering out less, so a lot of people want to get the maximum depth and they'll try to run that 5 filter. Thanks again.